Follow along to see how I built this greenhouse for $10. You're going to want to start with making sure you have a nice level foundation.
So I have cut two 8-foot pallets in half so that I have a small frame that's already built. I have this long 2x4, which the larger windows are going to go on the side. Hook those together with a bracket and a screw in the back. There's two pallets. You just put a screw in there, split the piece of wood, but it's all right. We're gonna have extra support. So now 7 3/4 on the piece of wood. We're gonna cut those, put them up this way, screw them in for the support.
Wondering how I got all the supplies? I gotcha. Pallet wood. I used 10-foot, 12-foot, and even some 8-foot and smaller pallets. What you want to do is take them apart, keep the nails so that if you need any extras, you have them. That's going to be your spare wood, and it's going to be your beautiful, brand new 2x4s. Got a piece of pallet wood. Cut it down so that way I can use it as a brace for the 2x4. Get one side in a little bit, and I'll get the other started. So that way it's easier to hold. This brace is going to hold our 2x4 in place right here, so that way we have the other side of the window. This is the brace that we just put on, side of the window, and the 2x4 is going to slide right in there, and that's what the window is going to attach to. Then I'm going to go ahead, get my screws started because I don't have an extra hand to hold everything while I screw things in, so it just makes it a little easier. Pro tip. Do we want to bet that the cut I just made is going to fit? By all means, I'm not a professional builder. I do this for fun in my spare time, and I would really just consider this maybe some inspiration to go for your dreams, and if you want to build a greenhouse, build it. Now that I've got most of the frame together, I'm going to get some more pallets down and show you a trick. The best way to attach one pallet to another without using expensive brackets is cut a piece of wood that fits right inside the opening of the end of the pallet. Now you're going to want to screw in both sides to secure that little piece of wood. And this is going to act as your bracket, so that way you don't have to pay for one. As for the screws, this is where your $10 is going to come into play. You can either find a bucket of screws at a yard sale, estate sale, a thrift store, consignment shop, maybe even on Facebook Marketplace. Now that we've got our bracket secured, we're going to slide our pallet into place.
So we have attached our little brace. Now we have this 2x4. We're going to straighten it out with the side of this so that it's even. We have a little gap here, so we're just going to have to tighten this extra.
Now I'm moving on to the front side. So I've cut this pallet down to make it the perfect height. This piece of wood that I'm putting here is going to secure the side wall to this pallet, but first we're going to flip it around, and then I'm going to have to cut a bracket just like I showed you in that last clip, so that way we can make sure this wall is nice and secure because we don't want all of our glass windows to be in the yard. I've got the 2x4s up that are going to frame the windows. You just got to pop it in here, make sure it's nice and secure, and then I'm going to screw it on in.
I've been thinking about myself today, thinking how I changed.
Alright, first window's on. It's officially a greenhouse. I'm going to open and close it just to make sure that it's nice and straight and it actually works. Now I'm going to make sure that the top of the windows are framed so I can pop in the second window. I'm going to make sure this 2x4 is screwed in, and then I'm going to make sure that it's nice and level. Make sure you're screwed in everywhere that you can be so you're nice and secure. Once again, you don't want anything falling down. And now we're going to get our next window and repeat step. The front window is up. I'm adding a bracket into the back so that way it's nice and secure. And of course, you're going to give it the wiggle test. Now I'm going to add some siding. Going to make sure these are nice and straight, and then we're just going to screw it in.
For you, cut my hair in the dress that you wear. Don't you leave, now it's my time to go. I'll be waiting while you're not alone. You know me, I won't be surprised if you leave. I'll wear a disguise. Darling, don't you wait for me. Tonight I won't be coming home for tea.
It's getting there. Sturdy as can be. I told you about the pallets and the nails. The windows? Well, here you go. Look around. Anywhere you see a dumpster, a house getting remodeled, or even a place that does construction work, ask. You could even check online to see if anybody's getting rid of some.
She calls me day and night. I'm sorry, girl, you just don't make me feel right. I never meant to make you cry, you were right. Just leave me be, I'm not gonna put up a fight.
The piece of wood that I'm adding on now is going to work as a brace, and that's going to hold the window to the frame, nice and sturdy.
And every time you wake up feeling worse, and then you check the time. It's never what it feels like, just throw me a dime. If everything was good, then you.
This is where your 12-foot 2x4s are going to come into place. They're going to fit perfectly across the roof, so that way you can have some nice sturdy timbers to hold your ceiling in place.
Feel alive. If everything was good, then you would feel alive. Everything was good, then you would feel alive. If everything was good, then you would feel alive.
For the roof, you guessed it, more sliding glass doors. They're double panel, they're very heavy, and they have a rubber gasket on the outside so they slide together, and the fit is so tight that it actually keeps the water out. This is a view of the almost complete greenhouse, not painted in its raw form, but it's beautiful and it only cost me $10. For pallet wood, used windows, and old doors, it's a lot better than I could have ever imagined.